Hello, welcome back to We're Not Chefs. I'm Stephanie and I'm still not a chef. This is one of my favorite dishes to take to a potluck because it's cheap, it's easy, it's quick to make, and it's really perfect to make in large batches. Don't forget to leave a comment if you are enjoying this series and let us know what kind of foods you want to see us cook. All right, leave a comment, subscribe, and let's get started. All right, this is really simple. It's only a few ingredients and you can swap out any of these veggies for whatever you have in your fridge. I'll show you what I'm using. I'll be using some green beans, which now that I look at them have seen better days. I just bought them yesterday. I'll have 2 carrots. I'm gonna add some kale for a leafy green and also some cilantro, which if you hate cilantro, leave it out. So before I chop my veggies, I'm going to make this sauce really quick. So I'm just gonna scoop these over. I'll be using half a cup of liquid aminos. If you don't have liquid aminos, you can use soy sauce. I would recommend using reduced sodium soy sauce because it is very salty if you use regular soy sauce. 2 tablespoons of a sweetener. I'm using maple syrup, but you can also use sugar, brown sugar, agave, whatever you have on hand. I like using maple syrup because it dissolves better than sugar. So I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons. Then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of rice vinegar. Now that's it for the liquids, but we also wanna add some fresh ginger and fresh garlic. So for the ginger, I have some fresh ginger here that I need to peel, and then I'm going to use this grater to grate it down. It's better than chopping because ginger is really fibrous, so sometimes it's hard to chop fine enough to get the fibers out and you're left with like big chunks of ginger, which no. So to peel your ginger, a really easy trick is to use a spoon and just peel up, and then you can grate it when you're done. This is usually easier than an actual like potato peeler because you have more control and you're not gonna cut yourself. And then use my grater here. And of course, if you don't have a grater like this, you can just chop it. Just make sure you chop it really, really tiny, unless you like chunks of ginger. Let's put that in the bowl. Alrighty, and for my garlic, I usually add a lot, but I think I'm just gonna add 3 cloves. That seems appropriate. Don't wanna go crazy. So I'm gonna smash my garlic first, and that will help me peel the skins off. And then I'm gonna cut the little nubs off on the bottom, because then they just peel right out. Just gonna chop these up really fine, mince them, and then add them to the sauce. Also, don't forget, I'm not a chef, so my knife skills are pretty weak. Okay, I have my garlic all chopped up. I'm also just gonna add that to my sauce. Super simple. All right, now I can chop my veggies. I'm actually going to clean some of this up because it's giving me anxiety, and then I'm gonna come back and chop my veggies. All right, now that I have my sauce made, I can chop my veggies. I'm gonna start with the carrots. I'll show you how I chop mine for this dish. I'm just gonna take off the nubs here. There's probably a more official name than nubs. And I'm gonna cut it into sections, and then I kind of want them in long sticks. And honestly, this really doesn't matter. It is personal preference, so do whatever you like. Just gonna cut them down a few times, and now they're wide and flat, so I'm gonna cut them a few more times so I have some sticks. You probably don't want to see me cut every piece of carrot, so I'll see you in a moment. Okay, I have my carrots cooked. No, I don't. I have them chopped. I have my carrots chopped, and now I'm going to chop my green beans, which I literally bought yesterday, and now that I look at them, they look like they have definitely seen better days. Okay, so here for my green beans, I'm just going to cut off the ends. 1, because they're a little gross looking, and 2, because they have these little stems. So I'm just gonna cut those off. And if your veggies are on the verge of going bad, you can always chop them and then freeze them. So instead of buying frozen veggies, you just freeze your own fresh veggies. I have a bunch of cilantro here, and I am going to use the stems because they add a lot of flavor and they are very fresh and tasty. So, you know, we're using about half a cup of cilantro. Okay, that should be good. It doesn't have to be super fine chop. And for my kale, I'm just going to remove the leaves from the stems and then give the stems to my dog because she really likes them. If you don't have kale, add some spinach. If you don't have spinach, add something else. You know, it's kind of a mishmash of things. So I'm just gonna cut that up a bit, and now I have all my veggies set. I'm gonna put them on this tray so they're easier to transport, and then we can start cooking. All right, now it's time to cook our dish. I have some cooked pasta here. I'm using linguine, but you can use whatever you like. So first I'm going to add the carrots into the pan just to get them softened up a bit. The green beans cook a little faster than carrots would, so I'm gonna add things at different times. Because I don't want to overcook one thing, undercook another. Just gonna let them get hot and start cooking down a bit. I'm gonna add a little bit of the sauce, just a tiny bit to help it cook. To save you the boring time, we'll use the magic of YouTube and come back when they're ready. All right, the carrots are cooking down a bit, so I'm going to add in my noodles so they can absorb some of the flavor of the sauce, and then I'll add the green beans. Oops, it's pretty hot. So again, I'm using linguine, but you could use spaghetti noodles or pretty much any noodle. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add in my green beans and get those a little bit softer so they're not crunchy. If you're going to eat this right away, I would add probably most of the sauce and reserve a tiny bit. If you're going to take it to a potluck or it's traveling, I would only add half the sauce to cook it, and then when you are ready to serve it, add the rest of the sauce because it absorbs so much into the noodles that you want to have it a little saucier when you serve it. So I always save a little bit in a little jar and take it with me. So we're just going to cook these down a little bit to get the crunch out of the veggies. Also, I want to cook down the garlic because there's a lot of raw garlic and ginger in the sauce, so I don't want it too spicy. Okay, I can tell the veggies are getting soft, so now I'm going to add in my kale and cilantro. Let's see if I need all of this kale. I'm gonna add there, and it shrinks down so much that you want to add a little extra. I'm gonna add in my cilantro. And sometimes I reserve some of the cilantro to garnish when I'm ready to serve as well, but I just accidentally added all of it, so that's what we're doing today. So I have the kale, and the kale's gonna wilt a lot, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. And then since I am going to eat this for lunch today, I'm going to just add all of the sauce. And cook down that garlic and ginger, get all the flavors mixed in. And that's pretty much it, folks. It's a pretty easy dish. You're just really chopping veggies, cooking noodles, and making a very basic sauce. All right, folks, let's not forget that greens have protein, but if you're looking for a little extra, you can always add beans or tofu to this dish. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.